How you guys doing? This is Kai with BMW of Bend. Today we're going to go over some fundamentals of charging. Demo car we're using is a 2018 BMW i3 with a range extender. Alright, so here we are at the charging port. Something that the i3 has that's standard on these 2018s is level 2 and level 3 charging. So you'll notice when you go to the port you'll have two different plugs. Level 2 charging is just the top plug. If you had a level 3 charging station that you had access to, you could use the combination plug, which would use the additional bottom port as well. But for just standard level 2, which what we'll be using today, we're only going to be using the top port. If you were using the combo, the level 3, you're going to get a fully charged vehicle, say if it's at a flat battery, probably about 45-50 minutes. But with level 2, probably take you about, I don't know, roughly 4 hours to get it fully charged. So two different ports, so knowing those two is good to know. The light around the port, the different lights around the port will illuminate to illustrate a different status. So when you first open the port, you'll notice the light's white. That just illuminates so you can see things a little bit better. There's additional statuses though, other than the white. And they're all listed here on the fuel door as well, or the charge door, I guess I should say, not the fuel door. The plug, once initially plugged in, you'll notice a amberish, yellowish light. That's just the car and the charging station establishing a connection, so that's good. Once you have that amber light, it'll move on to either a solid blue or a flashing blue light. The solid blue light is indicating that there is a time set in the settings of the vehicle where the vehicle will charge during a specific time frame. So it won't charge immediately when it's plugged in, it will only charge during the specified time. If you notice the light is flashing blue, that means the vehicle is charging immediately right away. So if that's what you're intending to do, look for that flashing blue light. Green, fully charged battery. Red is some type of error. You can try to remove the charger, wait a second or two, try to replug it back in, but if you continuously get the red light, I would reference a BMW service center for them to take a look at it to see what the problem is. The other thing to note about the charging port is there is a program in there that once you plug in your charging and lock the car, it will lock the plug in the port. It will stay locked in the port until your vehicle is fully charged. So once your car is fully charged, a neighbor maybe or somebody else around the area that wanted to use the charging station could remove it, but only once your car is fully charged or if you happen to unlock the vehicle for them. But note that that programming is standard on all the i3s. All right, so here's a typical charge point station here. Something to note about BMWs, at least specifically, is that if you have either plug-in hybrid or the i3, then you'll notice that you get Charge Now cards with the vehicle. The Charge Now cards will be with the packet of owner's manuals and warranty manuals and all that stuff that you get in the glove box usually. You should have these pre-wrapped inside there as well, so each owner should have access to the ChargePoint network. The cards themselves are these tiny little guys here that you can fit onto a key, look like this. But once you get these out of the packaging and everything, you still do have to do an account setup. So if you go online to the ChargePoint website, then you'd have to set up the account for each individual card that comes with the vehicle. You don't have to set them both up, but if you want to use both, you obviously have to set them both up. At least one of them to get the account active and running. So when you set up the account, something to note is that you do have to put in a credit card or debit card. It does not charge your account immediately. But some of these ChargePoint stations do require payment, and the ones that do will deduct from that card that you put on file. So the initial charge, say you go to a station that requires payment, once you swipe the little tag fob thing here, this will deduct from that card. It will take off $10 initially, and that $10 will be applied to your account. And then however much of that $10 you use during that charging session, that's what will be deducted from the $10. And then it would, once you deplete the $10, it would reapply the $10. So note that it will do that only on the stations that require payment, I should say. But not every station, actually most, are actually free charging. So if you can't find free charging, you may not be looking hard enough because there's a lot of it out there. Something to note too with BMW owners is that you do get promotions with the purchase of a new vehicle and some certified pre-owns as well. So if you're unaware of that, contact your dealer, or you could even contact ChargePoint directly. They'll look up your VIN number and let you know what promotions qualify for your vehicle. For example, you could have potentially free level 2 and level 3 charging for a couple of years. So knowing what you do and don't have tied to your vehicle will be helpful when you go to the stations as well. The other thing to note is there is a ChargePoint app. The ChargePoint app can be used in replacement of these little tags here. So an example that I see often is, say you do not have these, for whatever reason you didn't find them in your vehicle, you can still go and set up a ChargePoint account and they will mail you these little cards if you still want them. But after you set up the account, you can use the app to start a charging session on certain chargers. So setting up the account is still necessary, and it helps you to charge even if you don't have these little tags here. Then also if you don't have those cards, you can reference either your dealer. They may have some on hand, like we keep some here in stock at BMW of Bend. But if they don't have them, you can contact ChargePoint directly and they will mail you out some if you did purchase a BMW. I don't know, some other manufacturers might have something different, but BMWs, they take care of you. All right, so that's a general overview of how to charge the vehicle. If you have further questions, please give us a call here at BMW Bend or feel free to stop by.
Kendall, let's start something great.